Hello, everyone, and welcome to session 57 of Aneria, the Shattered Realm. It's a new year, and we are so happy to be back. Mm-hmm. At least I am.
Happy New Year!
Yeah.
New Year.
Mm-hmm.
New Year.
2025. It's a quarter quell year, so something big's gonna happen.
Great.
You're welcome.
Way to start the year off.
Yep. But thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. We love every time that you guys can sit down and watch our episodes or listen to our episodes. Do you know we have a podcast of this? It's the same exact thing, but in audiobook form.
Yeah.
Not audiobook form.
If you'd like me to tickle your inner ear, download the podcast today. I'm just kidding.
We promise.
Preston's going to add some extra ASMR sound effects. He's just going to send him over and be like, insert these randomly in the episode.
Which, Preston is our sound effect guy.
He is.
Preston and Syrinscape, of course, which we always love to mention.
Mood.
I always pick a random one. It's the worst.
The weakest
every
one.
time, yeah. But thank you, Syrinscape, for providing wonderful sound effects and noises for our campaign to give us a little bit more immersion.
Yeah, okay, you guys, we have to do something.
Okay.
This is fun. I made my family do it. Oh.
Okay. While we're pulling that up, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and join our Patreon for these episodes a couple days early and ad-free as well, which is nice.
Forget astrology. The tagline of the #1 movie at the box office, the day you were born, that determines your fate from now on.
Okay. #1
We're going
movie.
to dox ourselves, at least our birthdays.
It's fine. I'm
The day.
ancient. Or I am timeless. Because I am a vampire, so...
Vampire or witch?
Both.
Witch both. Ooh, a witch vampire.
Yes.
Which vampire?
I'm the child.
The #1?
What were those books? The Times Convert. Books.
Well,
Did you
apparently
ever read those?
my fortune is, who knew it was so much fun to be a hooker? She walked off the street into his life and stole his heart.
Just that first part. Who knew it was so much fun to be a hooker?
Movie.
Can you guess based off of the tagline?
I'm guessing...
You might be able to get it more than anybody.
Well, I'm thinking it's... what's that one with Julia Roberts?
That is Julie Roberts, I think.
Yeah, what's it called?
Pretty
She's
Woman?
a Hooker? Yeah, Pretty Woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's called She's a Hooker.
And,
She's a hooker.
And Richard Gere.
Not Hook.
No, Pretty Woman, yeah.
He's also a hooker. Just different kind.
Different kind of hooker. Mine was I Feel the Need for Speed.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Mine is I Love This House.
I love this house.
With an exclamation point. I love this house.
Is it
What could it be?
Poltergeist?
Nope.
Is it comedy?
Yes.
Is it Money
Uncanny.
Pit?
It is money.
Ah!
That's so fun.
Now, is it the #1?
I just put #1 in.
It's supposed to be the #1.
So I did #1 movie at the box office, and then my birthday.
Yeah.
In there.
But it usually is for the month. At least that's what mine pulled up as. I was hoping it was the Transformers, the movie, because that came out the same year as War
the
2.
year
But
you were born.
I've never watched that.
My
Like the
husband's-
cartoon one?
Let me tell you what
No, I'm
his
sorry.
was.
This.
Oh. I was like, I might have to kick you out if you haven't watched Transport. No, I'm just kidding.
My husband's was a masterpiece of terror. Isn't that incredible? Because it was an American Werewolf in London.
Oh, that's such a good movie, too.
I could have had Full Metal Jacket,
Oh.
but let's see what quotes are in this movie that I've never seen.
Full Metal Jacket butt?
it's not quotes.
Full Metal
it's the
Jacket is.
tagline.
Don't even have the courtesy to give him a reach around.
It's the tagline. For the
Tagline.
Tagline. What's the, I don't know how to find the tagline.
Just
type
search
in the
the
movie
movie.
and then
Tagline.
tagline.
Yeah. I mean, this pretty much does describe my life.
Yeah.
Just the facts.
Just the facts. That does not fit you at all.
No.
Just the facts. Nothing made up.
Tell us what your movie tagline is in the comments below.
This is your...
I can talk for myself, thank you very much.
This describes your life.
He just got over a throat problem 4 straight days where he was
I had to...
barely talking.
Yeah, barely talking, or I was talking through my teeth, or I had to communicate through grunting. And guess what? All of those sound like you're angry.
I'm keeping all of my inappropriate comments to myself.
Yeah, give us at least like 5 minutes, and then YouTube won't demonetize the video.
No, I would just want you to cut them out.
It would my dog threw up upstairs, and I was like, it's okay, buddy, it's fine. But I couldn't like open my mouth and speak because then it would start to like rattle around and send me into a coughing fit. So he didn't think it was fine because it sounded like I was really angry with him, but I was really trying to be like, it's all right, you're good.
No good.
Yeah.
You can just guess all the inappropriate comments that were going to come out of my mouth.
But last session, the party made their way to...
Last stop.
Thank you. Sorry, it's been a couple weeks.
First stop, downtown. Making our way
Downtown.
Where they found a veritable swarm of airships waiting for them. Not them specifically, but just kind of in the area.
An area.
In an area. Yeah, who knows? They made their way down to...
Had an area.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You just want to put
it's good. Yeah. It's nice that we can still do that.
Starting the new year off right.
100 episodes into this.
Is it?
Oh, it's over 100.
Oh, yeah, we're over 100 by now. Yeah.
I like it 100.
Like, yes, we were 56 with this one, but we also made it up to like 52 with the last ones, with last season. So,
wow.
plus every Little Hope adventure,
Yeah.
adds like 10 more, just because it's so big.
They're like dog years, but yeah, for the little hopes.
But you guys made your way down to the ground floor where you encountered the not the Brotherhood. The Children of Davros. Thank you.
The Children of Need.
I'd give you... How many do you have right now?
None.
Okay. Here you go. There's one for you. I can be deceived, apparently.
Roll for deception.
And
You don't even want them to use. You're just collecting them at this point.
You basically
How many can you get
lied
before the
your
end of
way
this campaign?
We should see.
inside, by the way, the Children of Davros. It wasn't a... You walked up to them and told them who you were. It was sort of a... Lyrian took the lead and pretended to be one of their devout so that Fred, pretending to be Ethera,
Yes.
could talk with them and get some information on the goings-on, trying to find any information on her brothers and her family and what their dealings are here. Didn't really find out too
Both
much.
pretending to be cartoons.
Yes. Once again relegated to the silent mechanical type. But you didn't find out too much about the Brotherhood of Neve. The Children of Davros seem pretty separated from them, and they seem pretty annoyed with them at the best. But you did find out that there was a...
Not you, the dog.
So I was like, why are you...
Cory, shush. Stop talking.
You did find out that there was a race going on. The Scavenger Circuit.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine.
We haven't been
It's
with
good.
one another.
I
for
know.
a minute,
If I really cared, I would have stopped. But you did find out that the Scavenger Circuit is happening, and that pretty much there's only one team that hasn't committed to it yet, and that was the Pathfinders Guild on the edge of town, the western edge. And you went there, and you spoke with the esteemed chieftain of the Pathfinders Guild, which is a collection of these more monstrous races that live in the Plainlands and then come in and kind of do dealings.
Monstrous to some.
Monstrous to some.
Drop dead gorgeous to others.
Exactly. Rickor Linebreaker.
He had quite the mane.
Yes.
you will.
His Fabio hair went all the way down into the actual mane itself.
Honestly, though, men with long hair.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby.
Men with hair at all.
Men without hair.
You know what?
depending
Yeah.
on the guy.
Gorgeous
Bald men.
mane.
Yeah. I think all men are beautiful. Thank you very much.
So do I.
Okay. We agree then. Fine.
Okay.
Here's a dice for Scott.
I was gonna say, another one?
But you made a deal after impressing him with your tales of valor and dragon
Or
slaying.
Tales of Aneria.
Tales of Aneria. Mhm.
Actually, we did not tell a tale of an area.
Not sure.
Yeah, it was all about Arconis, pretty much. Yeah,
Another name.
and then he offered you basically, you can keep the prize. He just wants the glory, as far as that goes.
Yeah, we'd put his livery on our ship.
And then he's also going to provide you with a little bit of extra muscle for the competition, because it is a competition that can and most likely will turn violent at one point.
And cheating is allowed.
As long as you don't get
Can
caught.
get away
Yes.
with it,
Yep. So the scavenger circuit is basically this big race where people would normally go out into the Pounceman Prairies and find what salvage they could, the best piece of salvage, and then come back. This year it's a little bit different, and you found out that you're heading outside of Aneria itself. So it will be
South, right?
Yep, south past the, I think it's called the claw, what do you call it?
Or the pincer?
The Grasping Claw is the name of that kind of pincer-like end mountain at the bottom of an area there. And you're going out past that to where a derelict ship has been spotted, and it's whoever can recover the best salvage from that ship gets the full salvaging rights to the ship itself. So at that point, everybody kind of like split up and went their own ways. Bolt went to go take care of the livery situation and make sure that the crew was aware that you were going to be racing the next morning, which probably caused a bit of a frenzy because there's a lot of like last minute repairs.
We had to unload some of the cargo that they had already loaded.
Yep. Lyrian went off to infiltrate the Children of Davros again and kind of like see if they had any sort of like holy relics that he might be interested in, finding a shroud that they kind of worship, I guess, is the best thing. You know, I don't know if you can consider, is it worship when you're like praying over the holy relic? Because you're not worshiping the relic. Like if they brought out like a holy relic in the Vatican or something, you don't pray, like you're not worshiping the relic itself. You're just kind of, anyway, same kind of thing.
Educate us in the comments.
Yeah.
If you're making up a religion, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want them to be praying to some random piece
I imagine it'd
cloth.
just be like a
It'd be more like a
reminder of the power
they like
or
they
whatever.
like touch it for divinity or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
I think it will be smote for worshipping a relic.
yeah,
That's what happens in the Bible.
as you get smoked.
Smote. Yeah. They're like, I smite you!
Oh, smoked.
Smoked?
I was thinking like
You get
the god rolls you up in a nice
Lights the end on fire.
Smoked.
smoked. And then Fred spent the rest of the evening with the chieftain after his proposal.
Didn't Lyrian find a...
So there was a relic like that they were like observing or worshiping or whatever you want to call
Does it
it.
have blood on it?
Mostly
It
just
does,
trying to see if
actually.
that had blood. Yep.
Yeah, it is a shroud, a piece of cloth from Hanabrassus's tabard that was recovered after his death at the hands of the Wayward Watch. Those vile, evil, sinful people,
Yes, horrible people.
of which only one still survives, or at least is still officially a Wayward Watch member, currently on active duty. We don't know the fates of the ones that aren't on active duty, because there's also shapeshiftering afoot that the party needs to explore while they're here, but we've been a bit sidetracked. So,
Have we ever?
indeed. So we're going to get started the next morning back at the Pathfinder's camp. There's a group of 8 waiting for Fred as she stumbles out of the chieftain's tent. And there's 2 minotaurs with kind of they both have like these big bulky backpacks. You can tell they're wearing like sort of that kind of like almost like wooden armor, just very bare wooden and hide armor stuff. And then behind them there's a group of 6 satyrs that are carrying like a bunch of different baskets and cloth and everything. One of the minotaurs walks up and he goes, "We'll be following you back to your ship when you're ready."
Lovely. I'm ready. And why? Are you joining us?
Yes, we are the honor guard that's being sent as part of the agreement.
Oh, lovely. Well, might I say, last night was educational.
Hang on, I gotta roll a check. We heard.
Oh. Well, my apologies, but shall we?
They motion for you to head on, so you can head on into the city. It's a bright sunny day. Everything is kind of hustling and bustling. People are making their way up these different spires that make up the main bulk of Last Stop, because they're all trying to get a nice seat as the ships are getting ready for the circuit itself. And a skiff is actually waiting with, we'll say, Zvaka is there, looking very annoyed that she has to be standing around. And she goes, "This will take us to the ship."
Lovely, Svaka. Wait till I tell you about my evening. Educational.
That sounds...
I'm waiting for one of our fans to write the fanfic.
Please do send it to me. I can't wait to read it.
She doesn't make any outward reaction. Spock has been always a bit closed off, but she never interrupts you when you start on a specific tirade, so you can talk her ear off the entire way as you guys
Perfect.
fly up in the skiff.
I'll begin with telling you he was a centaur. Biggest I've ever seen.
As in the biggest centaur you've ever seen?
And
Oh.
otherwise.
Oh, I know where this is going. Okay. Go on. Suddenly she's very attentive.
Her scales flush from,
Yeah.
they go like a dark green, right?
Yeah, they just like flicker to a dark green for a moment. But yeah, you take the skiff on up to the Wayward Wanderer, which is floating in the air kind of at the starting line. You're the first ship there just because you really had nothing else going on.
So, tell me, what are the colors for the Pathfinders?
The Pathfinder Guild takes a lot of like earthy tones. So
Okay.
you got your green, your brown, and your tan, and kind of a mixture there. And they have their symbol is actually like, we'll say it's one of those colors as like paw prints, or even a more blaring like red, for example, is like paw prints that go across like their banners and stuff.
Okay, so throughout the night, I have spent time putting the livery on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, I probably would have just like grabbed one of their like flags on the way out and been like,
Yeah.
"Do you mind if I?"
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and they have more for you coming on board right now.
But
too, so.
like I've like put like cloth wrapped around like a bunch of the railing, and there's like a huge waving flag mounted to the back that has their paw print symbol on it.
Nice,
Yeah.
cool. And you've also been working on something else in the evening too, because we talked about this.
Yes.
The Illithid dropship that you brought aboard.
Yeah, the little small ship.
You were able to integrate the ooze.
Yes.
This was done off camera, but you were able to integrate the ooze that you took into the ship, and it is now functional. However, it does require a certain sense of mental fortitude in order to operate it using that kind of. Basically, there's two ways that you can pilot it. There's one where it's not going to be very responsive and basically just like you can move it forward at a very slow pace, but it doesn't require any sort of effort. Or you can fully integrate with the dropship mentally and risk like mental damage, basically, in order to in order to fully operate the ship back and forth.
Well, I am resistant to psychic damage, I'm just saying.
Gearhawk looks indignantly that you would use another ship.
But I would never. Besides, I have too much on my mind, Gearhawk. Let me tell you.
Swaka comes up to you, she goes, "You better just like get the whole crew together because she's gonna just repeat the same story over and over again."
Okay.
Team
meeting,
it's like
everyone.
A fish story gets
Yeah.
bigger and bigger with each telling you. Know
It was this big. And Swaka goes, "I thought humans didn't kiss and tell."
I'm
Or
not a
She's
human.
not human.
She's not?
No. No, you see the pointy ears?
Oh.
Yeah. Not human.
But-
I am also not human.
No, I know that.
I believe Lyrian is, though.
Lyrian, I think, is half, yeah.
I'm halvesies.
What's the other half?
Sorry.
Elf.
So partially pointed ears. Smaller ears.
You fur creatures all look the same to me. So
you mammals.
Fur.
Yeah. She kind of like points at the light like dusting of hair that all humanoid species have on their arms, and then she goes. Sorry, I one more comment about the chieftain, and then I think we should move on. All of your eyes are very bloodshot, and they all look like they've had the longest night of their lives.
They all need like coffee dripping them.
Yes.
Do you have to roll for exhaustion?
Each of the eyes is one level. So the Minotaurs and Satyrs basically go where Ava tells them to go. Eva.
Yeah. Ava.
Marie.
Oh my gosh! Every time, I need to just like remember my own characters' names a little bit.
It's fine. It's not like you have hundreds to remember.
Yeah. And then the skiff is actually waiting, and he says, "I'm supposed to take the top 3 of your crew down to the staging area to kind of deal with the opening ceremonies."
Oh, okay. Ava, if you keep prepping things while I'm gone.
Sounds good.
Fred and Lyrian, you accompany me to this.
Not a problem.
One moment. Do they? Okay.
Yes.
Fred is very into the body paint.
Yeah.
From the.
Yeah, from the barbarians. Yeah.
She would like to do a quick body paint.
Okay.
But resembling like the flag, things from.
Oh,
their
cool.
flag.
Yeah. So you get kind of like almost like a more like savannah print, like lion or not lion, but like a leopard print or a tiger print.
Yeah.
It would be leopard, cheetah spots. Yeah.
Leopard.
Yeah.
But like with the you know how cheetahs have like the down the.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you can tell they're a cheetah. By the way.
So yeah.
Versus
So
a leopard.
Fred runs downstairs really quickly. Go ahead and you can do this basically slowly or quickly and inefficiently, or you can roll a check to try and see if you can do something interesting and magical in
What
nature.
type of check?
Let's go ahead and do
Performance, probably.
Performance or Arcana or Sleight of Hand. Any of those 3.
Let's do performance.
Okay.
Ooh, that is a 24.
Okay. So yeah, it's about 10 minutes that you guys are waiting around, and then Fred comes back up. She's in her. Are you just in your full armor on top?
Yes.
Okay. But there are you are in full cheetah print spots in the different colors. You have the very much the line there on the back of each of your hands is the paw print symbol for the Pathfinders Guild, and actually the Minotaur looks to you and goes, impressive.
Thank you.
Oh, I didn't even consider a representation of their thing. I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go get some paint and just try to paint it on the chest
Just
piece.
like draws a smiley face on your belly.
While you're doing that,
It'll be on the armor.
There is no way in the 9 hells you're going to ruin my livery.
And you hear me call, Lyrian, you should get some too.
He'll
Lyrian.
cast disguise self, and not. He won't physically like.
are you gonna like change the colors of the outfit, or is it?
He'll just change the colors to their banner colors.
Okay.
But he still wants to look like uppity.
Yeah, put together.
Now, I do have to ask about Lyrian, because we did kind of focus on Fred a little bit this morning for obvious reasons. Did Lyrian do anything else in the evening, or did he, after he kind of did his sleuthing?
If he found the shroud, and
they had it on full display, so.
and it wasn't in a place that like was behind a wall or anything, he would probably attempt to use Mage Hand to just get some small flakes of it, or like if he's allowed to touch it, then he would definitely like with one of those those finger prick ring kind of things.
Yeah.
And scrape off a little bit of the dried blood. Or...
I would say it's probably behind like a glass case.
Okay.
They don't want to.
Then he wouldn't. Then at that point, he would probably have gone back and wrote down his thoughts.
Okay.
Of all the things that he had talked about, because there was an inciting comment that Fred made that made him change some of his paradigm for his goals.
Okay. Perfect.
Interesting. I'm so curious what she
Oh,
said.
yeah. All right. I'm just going to find. Oh, of course I will. A fun little environment here as we head out.
Do you want me to roll for my thing?
Yes. Go ahead and give me a roll of what you would like.
Okay,
there.
I'm going to use Sleight of Hands, and I get advantage on that because of my Rune Carver feat.
Okay.
25.
25. So
Holy
I'll give you
smokes.
two options. You can basically like do the full paint as you want, or you can have the colors like mix in with your fluidic body to basically
Well,
become
I'm doing it
colors
on the
temporarily.
armor.
Yeah,
On my
on the
armor.
armor specifically. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah,
what
so
does
I
that look
I
like then?
take the armor off and paint the print on it, and then I don't know, probably do something that looks like almost like claw marks going away from it, like scratched away from it type of a thing.
Cool.
It's just paint, but you still hear the standard like video game workshop noises where it's like you know,
And then you just come up painted.
painted, yeah.
What happened down there? Oh, I also made an entire, I don't know, new cabinetry, which we could use. No, but Bonnie would be doing the cabinetry work.
You made cabinetry?
I don't know, I'm just saying. But you came upstairs with just being painted.
Oh, okay, yeah.
While I was down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't in Fred's voice.
Sorry.
that was Cory.
I was like, man, it was very instructional last night. It's like step into my wood shop.
No!
Wait, double entendre. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Let's see.
I'll come up. How do I look?
Different than you did before.
That's the point.
I, for one, think you look incredible. Lyrian, also.
Thank you. It's the shoes. It really puts the outfit together.
Is that a crocodile?
So are those just random bits of oath attached?
I heard that it was actually a crocodilian from somewhere. Some famous.
You have Crocs, don't you? Or Dragon Crocs?
Yes.
Just trying to remember who had the Crocs. Because of course.
Those are Fred's relaxing shoes.
Yeah.
They're not for fighting.
They're for lounging, obviously.
The lounge.
Okay, so the skiff gathers you up, and it takes you down pretty much into the middle of like the biggest like ring of spires that there is, where there is a floating platform waiting, like a full-on magical floating platform. There's a bunch of other people that are in attendance there. Just off the top of your head, you can see some piratey-looking ones. You can see some that are pretty clearly the children of Davros. They're wearing their full like Sunday best, as it were. And you can see a man who does have an armor set that looks vaguely like the Brotherhood of Neve.
Do I recognize him?
Go ahead and roll me a history check, and let's see if you do recognize him.
Oh, that is not great. 13.
No, you've never seen this man before. Yeah, it's not one of your brothers, that's for sure.
Interesting.
And you kind of, you land down and they usher you basically into a line. You're pretty much at the end of the line. Everybody else is already waiting here. And an Aarakocra man, he looks a little bit older. So he's probably in his 30s because Aarakocra don't live very long, actually.
Oh, sad.
Yeah. He
Unless they're
walks over.
the parrot variety.
Yeah. He walks over and he says, we are going to begin shortly. Your crews have been notified that When your team is called, your ship will fly overhead. Do not be alarmed. They have been told to do this, so you shouldn't have to worry about any sort of break-in procedure or protocol on your ends. And we will announce you one by one. You can stand up and give a little wave to the crowd, that sort of thing.
Very well.
Enjoy the festivities and best of luck, challengers.
Thank you.
And then he turns around, and as soon as he turns around, like the old manness fades, and he stands up a little bit straighter, and he goes, "People of Last Stop," and in like a fully different, like less, like younger voice. It's almost like he's two people. But I didn't want to make another person. He goes, "Welcome to the 34th."
Can I roll an insight check?
Yeah, the 34th Scavenger Circuit, and there's a huge roar that goes over the crowd. Do I have the? It's super loud. That's because I have to turn up the other side of it too. We have a wonderful silence that child. we have a wonderful group of challengers here today, and a very special, unique challenge for them. It will take longer than the usual 3-day period, so I hope they are prepared for a longer journey, because these groups are heading south, outside of Aneria, for the first time in the history of our circuits. And there's kind of a murmur that goes over the crowd as people discuss that change of events. Thank you for the murmuring down there.
Murmur.
It's okay, Patches.
Outside of an area, there is a derelict ship that they will be collecting salvage from, and whoever can collect the greatest salvage earns the rights to that ship, and of course the rights as champions of the circuit moving forward. You are completely, he's completely turned away from you in full speech mode, and an attendant comes over and lowers your hand and goes, "Can I help you?"
I just have a question.
We're not taking questions at this time. He's announcing the race.
Are you sure? I think other people would be interested in this question.
You can ask me the question.
I'm just curious. Who is judging, which is the greatest salvageable piece? I'm just curious. Is that that's kind of subjective, isn't it? Is there a scale we're rating this on, or is there some way that something in the rules that you get more points if it has XYZ? I'm just very
There's
curious.
a group from Manaport that is coming to judge the individual items in question. Please.
You see, we don't trust people from Manaport.
That's not my concern. Please be quiet while the rest of the speech is going on. Thank you very much. And then the attendant walks away.
That really didn't answer my question.
Shh. She full on librarian shushes you. And of course everybody knows that was our wonderful last year winners. And he kind of claps at the champions from last year, which is a freewind scrapper company that's kind of off in one VIP area. It seems like he's been rambling a bit, thankfully, to deal with any not NPCs, any PC interruptions there. But we're not here for that. We're here for this year's competition. So let's introduce our teams. And there's drums that go off as basically this big procession starts. First up, because they were champions last year and the 3 years before that, we'd like to introduce the Freewind Scrapper team this year, run by the wonderful Tushin warrior Koval Yeoman. Him and the Listless Monastery shall be racing for the Freewind Scrappers. And he kind of waves his hand, and this
It might be too late for that.
This Tushin steps forward. He's very clearly a Tushin. You've seen plenty of Tushin over the years. Everybody has. And he's got two very... Two shins, yeah. He's got two very stoic warriors standing behind him that step up, and they give a salute as their ship goes overhead. And actually, I will introduce you first to...
Oh my goodness gracious!
To the Wandering... or the Listless Monastery, which is a rather large ship that looks like it has several hangar bays for other ships. Like most Freewind Scrapper vessels, they are kind of a mixture of two. But there is very clearly a Tushin monastery on the back of it. I know, right? On the back of this.
One that wasn't hollow.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
There's this, but there's basically this nice Tushin aesthetic that goes with the ship. There's a whole monastery that basically rests at the back there, or it's got the top of it, basically, as you can see.
That looks way cool.
Like the pagoda.
And of course, we'll be having for those watching, we'll be having
Right below Cory.
Yep, right below me.
For those listening, there'll be
Preston will be
Description.
doing some ASMR
ASMR description
right now.
on the left of the ship.
You're the audio commentary.
Yeah. Next up, the Windcutters Guild has really pulled out all the stops this year, folks. I would like to introduce you, well, you probably already know him, to Captain Privos Fondahill and the Cutting Edge. And you look over and...
That was from... what was that from?
The
met
gnomish... He's either a gnome or a halfling. I think he's a halfling.
I think he's a halfling.
Yeah.
This was like back when I was Eve.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The boastful Privos Fondahill steps forward. Ha ha! Yes, it's me! Ah,
That's
love
when
you!
we were going
I
to
love
that
you!
place and we found what's his name when they were
Yeah.
like mining.
Yeah, so this was
He
the
got us there,
this was
right?
the cutting edge that sent you to or got you to the mining area. And then of course, Tellus, his faithful companion, does send the cutting edge overhead so you can get a good look at that as
Careful
well.
with the propellers; they're very delicate.
Which is it's
He knows me too well.
it's a very sleek ship
okay, I've
more than
already
the
broken
others.
one, so.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like it has a lot of extra defenses. It barely qualifies as a non-skiff itself, but we're using that as the representation tonight. Next up, I know everybody's very interested to see who won the Shredded Sails competition that they run every year. The Mercenary Guild has really outdone themselves with this one, I have to say. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to introduce to you the Frozen Bog and its captain.
Now, all the while, every time they get announced, their ships are
Their ships are like flying overhead.
They're just flying overhead. They're doing like a circle. And then,
They're basically like they're like slowly flying overhead, so everybody can get a good look at it.
This is the air show.
But everybody, please welcome the Frozen Bog and its captain, Marana Adair. And another figure that actually Bolt recognizes steps forward. Marana Adair is a human
Scott doesn't remember.
druid.
She sounds familiar to me.
She is a... let me grab the shit first. She is a human druid, and she was the seneschal, or the second in command of one Ergoblath that you guys faced. She's the druid helper that kind of turned on him near the end there.
Yes.
So she steps forward, and there's a couple other like figures with her. There's like a minotaur from the Ungolo marshlands, and surprisingly, an elf, a member of the Withered Bow Tribe, that is also very familiar because it is Lucina Tolvidane.
It's Ezra's sister?
Ezra's sister, yes. Oh. And their ship goes flying overhead, and
That
it is
a cool ship.
it is
man.
definitely a mixture of almost like a half sunken pirate ship that's been reinforced with plant life, and it kind of has this it's almost like fog that rolls off of it as it flows across the sky there.
Black Pearl.
And she gives a polite wave to everybody and everything, and she does like look over at you and give you a brief nod as well. Now the Merchant Guilds, they've got a wonderful little surprise for us. They are promoting a new competitor. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to introduce you to Midavar Constagari, a leading member of the Gear Guard who will be operating their sail barge this evening. Or for this event, rather. And a gentleman steps forward with two automatons behind him. Mm-hmm. You guys saw the Gear Guard back in Archdom, so you know they basically have like a kind of a conal head look to them a little bit, and they're made of a kind of a coppery brass look. And Midavar is... He looks like an inventor that got turned into a sky captain. So he's definitely got like the ink stains on his fingers, but he has he's trying to make himself look a little bit more grandiose than he is. And their ship goes flying overhead, and theirs is a giant just kind of transport barge that they've modified. This doesn't seem to be anything that people are super impressed with, so it's probably something that like they use every year. It's pretty simple. And you do know that the Merchants Guilds kind of band together their funding in order to have an entry into the competition. So it's just got this giant blimp that kind of soars overhead and a bunch of different like cargo holds.
I dig it.
Let's tear apart that blimp immediately.
Next, we'd like to introduce a surprise competitor who paid their own way in here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Mirren Castlegate and the Scalding Karn. And the Brotherhood of Neve member steps forward with 2 guards flanking him as a large airship comes into view overhead. This is an Arcanum airship through and through, except for just like the last one, it's been modified to look like any other... like just kind of any other Neve ship that you've seen, which you've seen one other of. It's a bit more darker, it's a bit more heavily armored and armed than the other ones. Next is a interesting entry to our competition, one that barely qualified past our requirements that there be no skiffs. The Children of Davros have brought the first light with them, and let's see, and being piloted by their captain, Justicar Ingon Vand. And the smallest ship of the group actually comes forward. It is not very big at all. It is a very simple like skiff that looks like it has been decked out with the Children of Davros colors as she steps forward and gives a bow and a salute. You can see that there are 2 griffins that are like that are roosting near the front and back of it, and they give out like a roar to try and add to the crowd's excitement. But there's a little bit of a murmur of confusion that there's such a small ship that's in such a interesting competition. And then last but not least, we didn't think they'd get their entry in time, but ladies and gentlemen, the Pathfinder Guild is proud to present the Wayward Watch and their ship, the Wayward Wanderer.
Yep. We'll step forward.
And then
Just kind of like wave to the crowd.
Which
Arian will have his arm behind his back and just...
Yeah, there's some murmurs that go on. Obviously, your reputation does precede you. There's a couple there's a glare that comes from the Children of Davros captain that you may or may not glimpse as your ship goes coming overhead, which is just a smaller representation of the one that we typically have for you. Let's see. Well, I believe that's about it. So if none of you mind, and the crowd kind of chuckles, and you even hear somebody say, "Get on with it," we'll go ahead and have our captains get back to their ship because the race starts. Well,
Quick
now
question for you.
actually,
This is out of what you just did. Before you move on.
Yeah.
Is this like, okay, I'm just asking this because this might change what Fred does, but I'm just going back to Hunger Games. Do you ever have like moments where you can have like sponsors send you extra little things to help you along your way?
That's not really something particular with this event, no, but I mean, it's not against the rules to have something delivered to you.
I'm just wondering if we need to get the crowd on our side, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
yeah, it's more of just like they're already going to be rooting for who they're rooting for.
Okay.
As far as it goes, the Pathfinder Guild, like, there was a lot of like surprise when you guys came out, but they did their usual cheering, but it's not something where you need to get the crowd on your side in this case. Yeah.
Now, while we're out scavenging, is there like magical means of them watching what's going on, or is the city just partying for a couple of days until everyone gets back?
The city, it's probably one of the city parties. What they probably have like observation platforms and stuff closer to the action itself, because normally they'd have different people like going out and reporting back and being like, oh yeah, we saw somebody out here in the prairies out there, but this is a very different situation, obviously. So there probably are some like devices set up for scrying or that kind of thing, but it's nothing like a constant stream of everybody's going to be watching you all the time. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's more of a like, everybody gets excited, the bets go out, the ships go out, and then they have like a 3-day festival of different other events that are going on, different smaller races, while they wait for you guys to come back, that kind of thing.
Is it against the rules to place bets as a participant?
Yes. I'm not doing that again. But yes, yeah,
He's learned his lesson.
It will be against the rules for that. Just
Although you
because-
made out with his money, with Victor's money.
True. His 10 copper that he bet in that situation.
At the mention of like the race is starting now.
Yeah.
I'm just and I just grab both of you and like just not bear hug, but I just kind of pull you in and then just teleport away to the ship.
Yeah, and as you do, you see like the small skiff from the Children of Davros swinging down, and the Justicar like running for it to like leap off the platform because everybody was kind of expecting that they might pull something like this. Some of them are better prepared for the Brotherhood of Neve captain seems anxious that people are getting the drop on him. Privos just like pulls on his jacket and a wingsuit comes out.
Amazing.
and he just falls to the roar of the crowd.
Is this like so we're up on like a top of a spire?
Yeah, basically there's probably like a good like 4 or 5 spires that have each of the rings filled up with people, and then there's like a platform in the center where you guys have been introduced, and then the ships kind of went overhead.
It's like Quidditch meets pod racing.
Yeah, and you guys pop back into existence on the ship. Ava kind of like blinks a little bit. Is everything okay?
Yes. The race has started. Let's go. Full steam ahead.
All right, John. And she gives him a hand signal.
I'm assuming they've given us a general location, right?
Yeah.
Not just south.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of area south they
Yep.
cover.
Yeah, basically, like, if you ask, they're like, oh, yeah, after you left, we got, like, a general, like, here is the coordinates that we need to be on.
Did someone type that into the APS? Aneria positioning system.
Yes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys go taking off, and the race
yes,
is
it's that.
on.
It's like a dart in the map.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's actually not going to be too long. You're pretty much out. You're pretty much a half a day away from exiting an area at this point, because last stop is maybe.
That's pretty far away from the.
Yeah, you probably got a day travel. We'll just go ahead and say it's a day travel just to simplify my brain. So for the first day, you don't really see any other ships. They kind of all like spread out away from each other. And that's mostly because there's a lot of other like trailing ships.
Is there anything we can do to speed our ship up or attempt to?
Yeah, if you'd like to, we can go ahead and roll some skill checks here if you want to try and give your speed a little boost, or your ship a little boost of speed.
We need to throw people off the side to lighten the load.
Well, it would technically lighten the load. You're not wrong.
As a last resort, maybe. Probably. Let's not do that first.
Let's wait. I can always teleport them back somewhere and then
That's
come
fine.
back.
I will just begin making a list.
Who most important to least important?
Yeah.
You tied that knot terribly.
Why is Bolt 5th on the
Fred's
list?
literally going to make a list.
Yeah.
I am one of the heaviest, so...
Yeah, I do like the idea that she continues to go around and adjust the list as she sees people doing good or
She's
bad
like,
deeds. Like,
walks up and
yeah.
writes something down.
Interesting. What was your name again?
Miven.
Nice try, Kevin.
No, that's not. Wait,
That's the other one. That's the other centaur.
Satyr.
Satyr.
I'm not giving you centaurs.
All right.
That'd be.
I think so there was 2 that escorted
No,
us.
so there's 2 minotaurs
2 minotaurs.
and 6
Sorry.
satyrs that are coming with you. So go ahead and give me. Let's get like an Arcana check from you or a like Tinker's Tool check.
Okay.
Fred, are you handling morale then? Is that what I'm hearing here?
Yes, I am.
Let's go ahead and do a diplomacy
What would Tinker's
or
Tool
something similar that might be. What about you, Lyrian? What would you like to do to kind of help along the group here? This seems a bit frivolous considering your mission at this point, but...
He'll just kind of supervise. He'll walk around and look judgingly at people, like as they tie knots or do anything like around the ship. He's going to inspect it.
Okay.
And then look at them and then sniff and then kind of walk to the next one.
Okay, so one of you roll me diplomacy and the other roll me intimidation. You get to decide between the two of you.
I'll do intimidation.
Okay.
26.
26? We'll go ahead and say that you can. That'll be a success here.
11.
11? We'll say that's a failure, but not like a detrimental failure. It's just it didn't improve anything. And then Bolt?
I will go with Arcana.
Okay.
That's 16.
16. That's a success. So you're able to kind of eke a little bit more out of the crew.
Me and
eke a little bit more.
I'm alive.
Hafis.
Yep. I forget his name.
Yeah, that's right.
Hafis and I.
I never forget any characters' names.
Yeah. Well, it's our characters would know everyone's names.
I know. I'm joking. Yes, you and Hafis are able to eke more out of the engines. He does say, in a pinch, we could hook up the other engine if we wanted to.
He's talking about the heart.
He's talking. The one that's currently being infected
That is,
and trapped in your. Yeah, that's
the greatest treasure.
You stole the heart of Zolzyrus from Cascas's ship.
Sorry, Cascas.
I was thinking about that. Perhaps we'll wait until it's kind of our maybe if we're in a dire need.
A solid strategy. What are you planning on doing if you are attacked?
Fighting back.
Are you planning on destroying another team's airship, for example, or are you just trying to defeat them and fend them off?
Well, first one and then the other if they don't either give
Destroy
up.
Destroy the airship first and then defend them.
Yes.
Yeah, try to beat them off.
Reverse that.
Right.
And then reverse.
Fred will work. You're not Victor, so you don't have your broom.
Nope.
But
You
Fred,
have your hawk.
Yeah, Fred will ride around on your hawk, kind of circling around, doing.
Some scouting?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me let's do a perception check, probably is the best option here.
Natural 20.
Natural 20, okay.
Plus 0.
Locke, Mr. Lyrian.
Yes.
You probably would be the one that would want to use the airship or the dropship at this point. Deal with the dropship. So if you'd like to get a little bit of time getting to know that, you can roll me an Arcana check for that.
That is a 6 plus my Arcana, which
Please
is
say your Arcana.
5.
An 11 again. It's you.
Here.
I was going to say, I have a few of these.
16.
I may
16?
share with
Yeah.
you.
So we'll go ahead and say that you get a +1 on any check to operate the deeper connection portion because you kind of realize what it is.
That's the name of the ship.
The deeper connection.
Deeper
Okay.
connection.
Write that down, please.
Okay.
That's now canon. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send you the information on that ship, so you can see and use it to your desire. But basically, this ship is being powered by a powerful Obelix, or at least a piece of it. And one thing that Obelixes are known for is draining memories. As you, a runner of Obelixes in our previous campaign, know very well. So the neural link will require you to basically save against concentration or lose said memories and become memory drained. That you can see there in that neural link section. So that could be a potential issue, but it might be worthwhile if you're looking to eke out a win over another person.
It's the brand of the Neuralink made by Ellen Tusk.
Ellen. Good old Ellen.
Leon Tusk.
Ellen Tusk.
Leon Tusk.
All right, let's go ahead and see.
If you're a monkey, it might kill you.
Go ahead and roll me. Actually, you got a crit on this, so never mind. I'm going to.
There we go.
Roll me a d6, would you?
I would love to roll you 86. That's a 4.
A 4? You spot another ship. Just about on your first day. You're getting close to the edge. You can see the grasping claw in the distance. It's getting pretty close now, which is, again, this giant mountainous structure that reaches, it's basically like a giant arch, but it got broken halfway across the river, which is an incredible feat considering how wide the rivers are in Aneria.
Yeah.
But it does look like a giant, like, rocky crab's claw. Again, kind of evoking these tales of, oh, there must be a monster that used to live in this, or that used to be this mountain, and now it's been fossilized. But you just spot another ship as you're getting close to that claw, and it is the Cutting Edge, actually. You kind of see that it's just like clipping along as fast as it can. The Cutting Edge is a very fast ship, so it's actually pretty impressive that you guys have kind of caught up to it. But you know from what Bolt has told you over the past day about what he remembers about Prevost, that what they remember about Prevost is that it's just him and his assistant. There's not really a crew that happens to be aboard the Cutting Edge. So what would you like to do in this case when you do see that ship approaching? Not approaching, but
We're approaching
you're
it.
out flying on
Yeah.
Gearhawk, right?
Yep, she's scouting around.
Fred will, rather.
How far away am I from our ship?
I would say that you're probably a couple hundred yards at this point. Or we'll say a couple 100 feet just to keep things in the usual.
100 feet.
Yep.
I will just circle back around to loop Bolt in.
Okay. Yep, so you come back in on Gearhawk, land on the deck.
Yeah.
He starts drinking a energy drink of sorts. Gearhawk does.
Good job, Gearhawk.
Eats we have a bag of 9-volt batteries. That
Yep.
Bolt,
Yes.
there's another ship we're encroaching upon.
Oh.
The Cutting Edge.
Oh.
Much.
What's his name again?
Prevost Fondahill.
Fondahill. Oh, Fondahill's ship. Did they notice you at all, or?
Did they notice me?
No, it didn't look like they noticed you.
I don't believe so. What would you like us to do? Go higher so we can remain undetected?
No.
Attack?
No. What do you think about possibly gaining an ally?
I like allies.
Would you go invite him to pull alongside?
To be clear, you said invite, not fight, correct?
Correct.
Would you go in fight him?
Would you go in fight him?
I'd like to join your crew. Fight.
You're just on Gearhawk, and there's just all these forks and spoons.
Yes.
Um, Of course, I'd be happy to. And
Tell him-
Fred will
tell
grab
him Bolt
a
sent
white
you.
flag just to be.
Of course, yeah. A pair of Victor's underwear.
Yes. Sad. May he.
Rest in peace, good buddy. Mwah.
These were his favorite pen.
His lucky underwear. He wasn't wearing them that night of the tower fall. That's
Why.
yeah.
Yep.
That's why.
R.I.P.
So yeah, you.
Lyra made them. It says "Made with Love" by Lyra on the tag on the inside.
In case you've ever forgets his name, it's stitched Victor.
Victor, but it's Braille, so
Yeah.
that for my
Yes.
because you had these when you couldn't see. Okay, here I go.
So you take back off on Gearhawk. He moves like a dream through the clouds. You're getting a lot of good practice in, and eventually you're coming up on the Cutting Edge again, and you see that there's some like commotion on the deck, not from any person, but you can see a lot of like animated objects kind of rattling around on the deck as if preparing. There's like a stove, a table, a set of armor, a broom that are all kind of like, they look like they're getting ready. And then Prevost kind of steps out in his usual fashion, 1 foot up on a barrel, and he sees the white flag and he goes, well, come on in then.
Well, I'll land on the deck.
Sight for sore eyes, seeing another face out here so soon, although I wasn't expecting a friendly sort, but the white flag, what's that for?
Well, I didn't want you to attack me before I could invite you aboard our ship.
Well, I appreciate you.
Alongside our ship.
Alongside our ship,
I appreciate you not attacking us as well.
of course.
It's very rare in these games. But hey, you know what? I'm sorry. We're off on the wrong foot here. Prevost Fondahill, nice to meet you.
Winifred Dragonsbane.
Ooh, interesting. I bet that's a good story.
Oh, it is.
Tell us. Follow that hawk. And tell us, Whiteweave, the Kitsune.
Sorry, I thought you were saying tell us the story.
No,
Tell
tell
us.
us. Kind of gives a shake of his head, but if you do send Gearhawk off, he'll swing the ship or slow the ship around or down so that the Wanderer can catch up.
Yes.
Now, can I offer you a drink? Anything? Snacks? We have a wonderful charcuterie, and the animated table comes over with a rattle of different cheeses and meats.
I do love a good charcuterie. In fact, have you ever had savory s'mores?
I've never heard of the thing.
They're delicious.
Well, you must make some then. Absolutely.
I will.
You'll want some more.
It's true. Fred will make some savory s'mores for him. Which is basically, you just melt your cheese over a flame,
Okay.
put it on a cracker. It's all the charcuterie ingredients.
Oh.
Meat. That's
Oh, that's very impressive, actually. I'm going to have to remember this.
It's hard to forget. Now, what's his name again?
Prevost.
Fondahill.
Yep.
Prevost?
Captain Fondahill, Prevost, whichever one you prefer.
Captain Fondahill. Have you competed in these games before?
A couple times here or there. Obviously, it's a bit different this year.
I should say so. Bolt, a member of my crew,
I'm glad to see that he found a good crew to work alongside.
Oh, yes, it's they, just so you know.
Oh, yes, of course.
But they told me that they've met you before. That you...
Yes,
helped them.
I was actually instrumental in their adventures.
I believe
Don't you know?
it.
Let me tell you the story. And he starts rattling off this grand adventure that he went on with the Wayward Watch. That is definitely not true. And it actually involves battling a Skyray, and there is a sea serpent involved, even though it's in the sky still. He's still on the airship. It's kind of weird. He kind of glosses over it a little bit. And yeah, he definitely spins you a tall tale that seems also to be a fisherman's story that grows with each individual telling.
Fred will absolutely stroke his ego, just fawn over him.
Okay. Yeah, give me, is it a deception or is it just
over the hill.
Yes. We'll do deception.
Okay. Yeah, go and roll me a deception check there.
That is a 16.
16? His insight is not very good. Yep. Yeah, he full on doesn't even notice that you are literally playing him like a fiddle.
Okay.
And soon enough, the Wayward Wanderer pulls up alongside, and Tellus kind of looks over at Bolt and gives them a nod. And then Prevost goes, my friends! I see you've got your own ship now.
We do.
It's a bit bigger than mine, but you know what? That's okay. It can't be all amazing.
Well, yours is still quite fast.
Indeed. You wouldn't have got us if I wouldn't have slowed down.
It's probably true.
And Tellus leans forward and he goes, we are in a race, sir. And he goes, pish posh.
Speaking of, I see you've met Fred.
Yes, wonderful woman. She taught me how to melt cheese.
I suppose that's better than when she tried to teach me to cut the cheese.
I did try to teach you that, but it seems your good manners are too well bred.
Kid took to it like fire, though.
Literally.
Yeah.
And we had to take that fire away from him.
Yes.
It's like he's a Boy Scout all over again.
Where's the rest of your usual compadres?
Well, unfortunately, I'm the only one left in the Wayward Watch.
Oh, rest in peace to all of them, of course.
well-
How did they die?
Well, only a few have died.
That's better than expected, I suppose.
Eve is off, being the voice of the wild, and who was around?
Everybody.
Ezra?
Everyone?
Yeah, it was the original crew. because it was in season 1.
Sari.
Sarah is off in the mountains, I believe.
Yeah, you're not quite sure, actually. She hasn't been maintaining contact. Mostly because I haven't canonically thought of what has happened to Sarah yet.
And Ezra has been training really hard with the Tushen.
He did seem very dedicated. What about Victor?
Unfortunately, Victor passed away just a bit ago.
He was my favorite.
He was very well liked.
What did they
among
do
us.
with his knives?
Oh, his fiancée took them, actually.
He was engaged?
Yes.
But I got to keep his underpants.
Was that... I'm glad that you got something out of the deal, I suppose.
I got a sweatband!
Tell us. Pour one out for old Victor there. And tell us. Groans and knocks a bottle off of the edge of the ship. Waste of wine, but okay.
Some Metaguatan.
Yeah.
Well, we can catch up perhaps after the race.
Of course. I have to
Speaking
admit...
of,
Yes.
I would like to propose an alliance of sorts.
Of course. So I'll have to warn you. Our ship is fast, but we don't have much in the way of any sort of protection.
We have some armaments ourselves, and we've also got quite the handy crew when it comes to fighting, if it gets to that point.
Of course.
If we can work together, perhaps we can get to the ship before everyone and possibly get on there to start looking for something valuable to salvage.
Yes. I am full on willing to stay out of your way if you stay out of mine. Unfortunately, again, if you get into a scrap, there's not much that I can do to help. Except for maybe try to fly by fast and pull a few cannon shots my way.
A distraction would be helpful. Obviously, if it becomes too hairy, you would have to leave, but...
Yes, I do have the consideration of the people who hired me to think about as well.
Would you be willing to tell who that was?
The Windcutters Guild. Yes. Mm-hmm. The Messengers Guild of basically last stop and one of the premier ones in all of Aneria, at least as far as airship.
Do we know if there's a prizes for second and third place type of a deal?
No, it is basically
Winner take all.
winner take all. Patches.
Well, perhaps we could work out if there's anything of value on that ship. We could split.
Oh, that would be acceptable. We'd be more than happy to engage in a little back dealing if you do happen to win. That's for sure.
Have you seen any other ships?
We spotted the really big nasty one with the old Arcanum crew on it. Not the small one, but the other one. About half a day ago, we kind of slipped into the clouds and lost them pretty quickly, though. But they definitely were aggressive.
Understandable. I kind of expected that. Well, I say we both attempt to get to the goal first.
Well, very good luck to you then, Bolt. Lady Fred, if you would be so kind as to disembark, so that I may thoroughly trounce you in beating you to the ship.
Oh, I would love nothing more.
She's wonderful. You need to keep her around.
Oh, well, yes, of course. She's the newest
As in,
member
don't
of the
let her
Wayward Watch.
die as well.
Apparently, she cannot die.
Yes, I cannot.
Really?
Yes, I'm working on becoming a god, so...
Prove it.
on how I'm working to become a god?
No, about how you can't die.
Okay. Bolt, punch me in the face.
Like lightly,
Yeah.
not hard or anything.
Take 1 bludgeoning damage.
Fred, that wouldn't really kill you normally.
Yes, Tellus could withstand that sort of blow. Here. And he pulls out a dagger and he points the hilt towards you. Stab yourself in the heart.
Maybe later.
No.
Hang on. Oh boy.
All right.
Just a second here. Before Fred can stab herself, which she may later on interpret as, see, the universe doesn't want me to die even by my own hand, there is a loud cannon shot that rings out, followed by several more. And Prevost says, I guess watching this will have to wait until another time. It seems like there might be some excitement up ahead.
I'm just like off.
I'm not going to make you stab yourself with a heart and kill yourself, even if you did roll bad on it.
Take 1d4 bludgeoning or piercing damage. Ow.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be doing that.
I didn't even
that's
get
for
through
sure.
the ribs. Ouch.
You'd be considered like coup de grace yourself at that point. And yeah, no, thank you.
Roll a survival check.
Yep. So Prevost actually, like, he takes the dagger back, he snaps his fingers, and the animated armor comes over and scoops you off your feet in kind of a bridle hold for a moment, and then spins once and tosses you back over to the Wayward Wanderer.
Woohoo!
Can I try to catch her?
Sure, yeah.
What would that be?
Just athletics.
Athletics? 17.
17? Yeah, you kept her just fine.
Yeah.
You can even catch her like by the collar. Yeah.
Did you see that bolt? I was going to stab myself.
Yeah, don't do that.
Surely, any other being would have died, but the universe knows I cannot be killed.
It doesn't need to prove it. That's why.
But speaking of, where did that cannon shot come?
We need to find you a counselor. The cannon shot, yes.
Yes.
Psychiatrist, and I already have one.
So the area up ahead kind of becomes like the clouds kind of pull apart to reveal a battle scene that's happening pretty much just on the edge of an area, right at the beginning of the debris field that kind of surrounds it. Mm-hmm. You and Prevost had to like slow down a little bit to discuss, so it's not surprising that some ships have broken ahead of you. And you do see that there are two ships locked in combat currently. One of them is the...
Is it the Scalding Card? First line.
Roll me a
How's the
d6,
bog?
would you,
Cutting edge.
Preston?
Sure. Let's use the
Doom
6.
6. One of them is the Frozen Bog, the tree that Marana Adair is on,
And Ezra's sister.
and Ezra's sister. And Bolt, could you roll me another d6?
2.
The other one is, in fact, the Brotherhood of Neve's ship, which...
Scalding Card.
The Scalding Karn, yeah. And it looks like basically the Scalding Karn has ambushed the Frozen Bog and is bombarding them at this point.
Karn? I didn't have Karn.
Well, that's less than ideal.
Does it look like the Scalding Karn has the upper hand?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And does it look like they are... Well, I guess I'm trying to determine their intentions. Are they trying to shoot the other ship down completely?
Yeah, it doesn't look like they're holding back. It looks like they are literally bombarding them in order to like sink the ship just off of the edge of an area here.
Ezra would kill us if we didn't try to help. Well, I kind of like get the attention of the crew. Battle stations, everyone. We're going to help them.
And there's kind of a hesitation, and then everybody starts jumping into action. Ava starts shouting orders. The satyrs and the minotaurs start like gearing up and making sure their weapons are all ready and everything. And Prevost gives you a 2-finger salute and he says, "We'll go ahead and give them a run by and see if we can't draw a little bit of fire while you get into position."
Thank you. Be careful.
You as well.
And I will tell John. I will say, John, do you remember what we did when we fought? What's the ship that we scuttled?
That was the...
It was the other ship that the Brotherhood had.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Insert name here. Do you remember what we did there? Where we like dive bombed above?
You want to do that again?
Yes, but now we actually have weapons.
Sounds good. Okay.
So, Fred, if you want to fire the cannons when we get close enough,
Sure. Or I could hop on Gearhawk.
that's a good idea. Have you, Lyrian, have you figured out that
Yes, I
the
think
smaller?
I think I have a handle on it.
Does it have any weapons on it? Like
Yeah.
I can't.
Well, no, sorry, it doesn't have any weapons, but if he's neural-linked to it, he should be able to take a full turn on his own without having to worry about it. So
I guess I will stay on the Wayward Wanderer and fire our weapons when we get in range.
sounds good. So we're going to go ahead and get into combat here. We'll set up a quick battle map and be right back. All right, let's go ahead and reveal the battle map and have everybody roll me initiative, please.
It's been a minute since I've rolled initiative.
Indeed.
Come on, flesh dice.
I hate those things.
12.
Uh-huh.
Not bad.
Okay, just a second here.
I think the term is failure to launch with the 7.
What?
Matthew McConaughey. Well, was it Matthew McConaughey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it was.
All right, hang on. It put random characters instead of you guys in here, so
Rude.
I'm not gonna put you down as character A, B, and
Wait
C.
a minute. Our thing's not on TPK. How's that possible?
Does that one have Jennifer Aniston in it? Or is it Kate Hudson?
From Sex and the City.
Oh,
Sarah
Jessica Parker. I do love her.
What's the other one? There's a boat. And it's Miss Congeniality,
Sandra Bullock?
Sandra Bullock, and another guy.
Well, you see you got 12?
Yeah.
Fred.
14.
14 and
7.
The one with Ryan Reynolds? Which one are
Maybe
you
they're
thinking of?
there's a boat. I'll find it.
Yeah, it's the one with Ryan
Proposal.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
The proposal.
The proposal, yes.
Okay, so here's how this is going to go.
No, Cory, you mean the proposal.
The proposal. Yeah.
I can break the fourth wall,
I can gently
too.
tap on the fourth wall as well. What you have before you on our side, the left side of the battle map for those of you at home, is the Wayward Wanderer. Yep. And the wonderful Gearhawk and Dropship. On the right-hand side
Not to scale.
of the video that you're seeing here,
Gearhawk is like.
you've
giant.
got the two ships that are currently I need yeah, thank you. Perfect. That's actually, yeah, thank you.
Broadside.
100%. That's what I needed. I appreciate that.
Do I get an A+?
You get a die, yeah.
Something that you
Just anticipating your whim, sir. So what we're going to do is basically, Scott, you're going to control the Wayward Wanderer and track the hit points and everything for that. And then you two will control your characters and obviously the secondary ships that you're on, the Gearhawk and etc.
name again?
That is the Frozen Bog.
also known as the Fog Bog.
Now the way that airships work in this particular system that I'm using, which we're using the Skies of Sordain airship campaign for anybody who is interested. It's a wonderful little Kickstarter that actually has a lot of stuff in it, including
Any body or any booty?
there is booty. It has the gun that killed Ceradon in here.
Something with the
Just
C?
so you know.
A disintegration ray.
Yeah, the disintegration
First
gun.
Guild, Scalding Karn.
Scalding Karn.
And I spelled it, I don't know if I spelled it right, but I spelled it like Kharn.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Khairn.
Yeah.
Karn. More importantly, sorry, I have to grab it. It's got this guy in it. This is where our wonderful little Balfrauth came from. Was the Skies of Sordain. They're not a sponsor, but they have a lot of really cool airship stuff. And we're gonna keep trying to adapt the rules. There's obviously
if you
some
wanted to
intricacies
follow
to it.
along, right?
If you or someone you love has been attacked by a Bell.
And then their
You're entitled to.
their company actually has like both the full size mini airships that Scott's printed and these mini ones. We found that they use for airship combat like this. So what's going to happen here is whenever a ship gets attacked,
If you're
there is
supporting this book, put a mouth
a mouth
In the
and
comment.
then another mouth
Mouth.
next to it.
and a butt,
Yeah, and a butt.
Kind of rough.
mouth and a poo emoji.
Or a
Koji.
peach.
Peach could also be something else.
That's fair.
But what happens with airships is when you attack them, they have a damage threshold just on the basic hull, right? If you can't get over the damage threshold of the ship, no damage is done to the ship at all. Basically, it's just superficial damage. So keep that in mind as you are attacking. I will say that you can target specific like engines if you'd like. It's going to be a harder hit though compared to the AC because it is targeting a specific system. Or you can target like
take
the
out their
weapons
air
on top
conditioning.
or things like
That's just moving forward.
that. Yep.
It's like an old car. You flip the
So
wing
what we're
windows
going
in.
to do first here is we're going to start out with a broadside by the Brotherhood of Neve ship,
The beeve.
the Beeve.
That sounds like an 80s movie nickname.
It's like beaver. Leave it to beaver. The beeve.
Beaver.
Don't they call him the beeve?
Okay.
Or yeah. What was the guy's name in Saved by the Bell? Screech.
Screech.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the Doug equivalent, and he was blue, and his name was Skeeter.
Scooter?
Skeeter.
Skeeter.
Yeah.
Skeeter. I'm so proud of you for bringing up that.
Never watched Doug that much.
What? With
that's
Patty
good.
Mayonnaise?
Mm-hmm.
Was it
And Roger, the green kid?
on
And
cable?
the
Was
sister was
it
so cool.
on cable though, like Nickelodeon and stuff?
I think it was on Nick.
Yeah, that would be fine.
Nickelodeon.
We didn't have cable growing up.
What was the sister's name? I legitimately wanted to be her so bad. Doug Funny.
It's not Daria, right? That's
Sister.
different. That's
No.
a different show.
Yeah.
This was her. Judy Funny. Doesn't she just look cool? She has like a little
Oh,
sleeve
yeah.
side in her hair.
She was
She was so
always
cool.
reminded
She's
me
gonna
of
be
the
Nick.
bongos,
Yeah.
kind of like jazz club.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's often depicted as being overly dramatic.
I rolled it twice because there were 2 hits from the cannons, basically. And I rolled both the damage on them, and they both came out to the average damage each time. Fun. Could I have a pencil, please? We're going old school tonight.
Pencil.
Ooh.
Pencil and paper?
Crayon,
Well,
which is
get pencil and
in
3x5 cards.
That's made of paper?
Not crown.
Gomme is eraser, I think. Gomme?
Pomme de terre is apple of the earth, which is a potato.
Potato. Mr. Potato.
Omelette du fromage is
Yeah.
cheese omelet.
From Dexter.
Thank
right?
you, Dexter.
Yeah, so the...
Obviously fish. How I love le poisson.
Croissant.
With a cleaver, I hack.
So you see a barrage of cannon shots fire out from the Scalding Tarn, and a couple of them slam into the frozen bog, and then you see a return fire. Where are their cannons?
Get the right thing up so I can get it.
Oh, interesting.
Open.
Oh, interesting indeed.
Interesting. This ship does not have regular cannons. It does now. This ship has spell cannons, which I'm not using for this fight, so...
Mine has dark matter engine.
You're just gonna run into it and blow up the ship.
What I should? Oh, that'd be evil.
Do you have another character
Kid.
ready to go?
Kid, I need you to come with me. Hold this stick.
Okay.
And I'm gonna
Boomstick?
misty step away and let him.
Evil.
But the Astari frigate also not Astari. That is the ship that is based obviously the Astari frigate. But the Frozen Bog also returns shots in kind and actually does a little bit of damage in return. So, good on them. And then we are going to go ahead and say it is Fred's turn.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, so...
Now, is this 5 foot squares?
Yeah, how far
Is that
away?
what we're counting these as?
Yes, it's just going to be
Just
5
for
foot squares. Yep.
simplicity's sake?
Yep.
Okay.
We're not going to worry too much about it. Well, you guys are all on pretty fast vehicles. Let's say they're 10 foot squares, just for the sake of it.
Okay.
I mean, sort of
Well,
fast. It's still like 60,
Gearhawk
right?
will...
Because Gearhawk can go 60, right? Is it?
60.
Yeah. So it's still 6
1,
spaces.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll use the dash.
Okay, so he can double move and go another 6 there.
12.
Ladash.
Okay.
The dash.
What is that from?
What is that from?
So there is a Gearhawk gives kind of a clap of thunder as he just bolts forward. Bolt taught him that.
Yep. It's all grown up. My baby boy.
Dang,
This one doesn't have a speed.
It does. It's lower down. They the way that they put it is weird in the book, but it's yeah.
Okay. And that's all we'll do.
Okay. Yeah,
Too far away
no
to do
no attacks or
anything
anything.
else, really.
You don't have any like ranged cantrips that you can sling towards anything.
Yeah, well, no. Eldritch Blast.
Yeah.
We'll do that.
Okay. So that can you like? Would you like to target like the ship in general, or would you like to target like one of the systems?
System. Let's
So-
target.
There's engines. There's probably a cannon or two that you could target on that side.
Let's target an engine.
Okay. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Better?
Ooh, not good at all.
Not so.
Cheese dice. That was
Turn it
12.
down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Cheese dice dice.
12 for
Minimum.
the first.
12 will miss.
Then 18 for the second.
18 will hit.
And the third was 16.
16 will miss.
Okay, well, 1d10.
Under action, Scott, look at movement. And then it'll tell you travel.
I see it. I found it, yeah.
So that was for 9
damage.
9 damage. Force damage.
That is a port. We'll call that the port upper stern. How about that?
Fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Good job, Cory. Right in the line of fire.
That is a good job.
Sorry, what was the total damage? You said
9.
19? 9?
9.
Okay.
And then, I will use, just to get a little something more happening,
Okay.
I will use some of my, I will use the Quicken spell.
Okay.
It's 2 sorcery points. Because I can change the casting time from to 1 bonus action for
Okay.
casting a spell. So I'll do Eldritch Blast again.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
So let's
Go ahead
see.
and roll those 3 against the same engine.
So the first one was 24.
That'll hit.
Second one was 18.
That'll hit.
The third one was 19.
That'll hit. So go ahead and roll me a d10 for each of them.
Perfection. Oops, wrong thing.
It is a d10, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 10, another 10,
Nice.
and a 2. 22.
22 damage. Okay.
Not too
Still
bad.
good.
Not too bad at all.
Still good.
And that will be my turn. And I that took 2 of my sorcery points. I only have 3 total, but now you know. what I did to those.
Okay. So Gearhawk goes blasting forward at lightning speed, and when he kind of starts reaching close enough, Fred just kind of unleashes this torrent of psionic magic. You can almost feel the grin from your patron as you send out these 6 twisting bolts of eldritch energy that just slam into one of the port engines, dealing a little bit of damage, chipping a little bit of one of the turbine, or one of the is it turbine? No, it'd be
the blades
away. And you do hear shouts of alarm coming as suddenly there's another ship approaching. Bolt. Speaking of the other ship.
Okay. I can move 100
bird.
feet. What's the range on the cannons?
The range on the cannons that's a very good question. 600 and then 2,400 feet for disadvantage.
Okay.
So 600 normal, and then beyond that to 2,400 disadvantage. So let me tell you about your cannon here. You have instead of just the hook shot cannons that, and the spell cannons that the ship comes with, according to that listing, you actually have a.
No. What does the spell cannons do? What are they?
So what a spell cannon does is it allows you to spend. They're technically called spell driving points, but it lets you put a spell into the cannon and fire it from that cannon.
Does it give it a bonus
for damage or something? Let me read you the exact portion of that, because I was going to replace those with other things, or with your other cannon instead, but let's see here. When you equip a ship with the spell cannon, you must decide blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
The check that I made earlier was that was the one to initiate neural link, or no?
You have not initiated the neural link yet. Actually, I'll go ahead and say at the beginning of your turn you can, but it won't cost you any action or anything.
I think you're technically still parked on the ship itself.
Yeah. Hang on, I need to look up the actual action because it's not listed where it's supposed to be. Six.
Mainly because I have some spells that might be useful that I could, if it gives me a bonus, or can fling them farther than they normally can. Or
yeah. So let's see here. When you cast a spell while at a spell cannon station, or in this case, you could just cast a spell through it.
Yeah. I'm running between the weapons. John's.
The spell must have a range of at least 30 feet and must deal damage. If the spell does not, or uses a normal spell slot, or blah, 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 yeah. For each spell driving point spent, or each basically running it through this, you cast the spell, it adds an extra damage die to the spell's effect. So whatever the damage is, you add an extra die there.
Do I have to say the level of the spell first?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And then you can add an extra die on top of that. Okay. And then if it has an area of effect, it increases by a number of feet equal to 10 plus your spellcasting, or times your spellcasting modifier. So it makes it larger. And the range of the spell doubles.
The range of the spell doubles?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So if I wanted to, say, cast Shatter through one.
Okay.
And maybe aim for some of its engines.
Okay.
So I can move 100 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So 10, 20, 30, 100. And then Shatter has a 60 feet, but if I cast it through the cannon, it doubles it. So I can reach. Because 60's here, so 80, 90, 100. Okay, so you can go further technically.
Okay.
If I cast it at, we'll say second level, just to start with, to test it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see here. In this particular case, because these things don't have anything other than an AC, I'm going to make you roll an attack against them.
Okay.
Instead of this, and basically, so what is your? It would just be with your spell attack modifier instead of the DC. That it would normally require. So, if you'd like, you can hit all 4 of those engines on the back of the ship, basically.
They can still make Constitution saving throw. It still has a Constitution.
These things don't have like that kind of intricacy to them.
Oh,
like,
I was right there.
ship components don't.
Oh.
If you're targeting the specific components. I mean, if you want to target... I mean, we can roll one for the ship itself. That's true. To see if it takes hull damage as well. But I can roll the DC on that one, and then you can do the spell attack.
Let me just do a normal spell attack then.
Okay. Yep, so go ahead and roll on...
So I'm casting it at a 2nd level.
Okay. So you'll add an extra damage die to that on top of that. You're going to roll... You want to roll 1 and see if it hits everything, or just roll individually? Because there's 5 different targets for you in this case.
So can I pick, or do I have to? Is it randomized?
Like...
If I pick which target?
So yeah, basically you can either roll once for all the targets together, or you can roll once for each target, and you can pick which target each of them is.
Let's just roll. I'd say roll for 1 since it's.
Oh my gosh, I've been
burst.
on this. I've been on the wrong screen.
Oh,
this whole time. I mean, not this whole time, but yeah. Yeah. So you 1 and done.
Sure.
Okay. Yep. So
you're the DM. You tell me.
I'm giving you the option here.
Then what?
That is what I'm saying.
Okay. So I will roll, and it's just my spell attack modifier.
Yep. Just roll and add your spell attack modifier.
That would be a 27.
Yeah, that'll go ahead and hit.
Sorry, 26.
So, read me Shatter's stuff.
A sudden loud ringing noise, painfully intense, erupts from a point of your choice within range. Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point must make a con saving throw. A creature takes 3d8 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. If it's made of inorganic materials such as stone, crystal, or metal, it has disadvantage on the saving throw. A non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage if it's in the spelled area. So at higher level, it's another d8 for each slot above second. So second is just the base save.
And we don't do vulnerability on that. There's no vulnerability, like objects take double damage or anything, correct? They just get disadvantage.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Yeah, so that is also going to hit the ship itself.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll
so it's
damage.
3d8 and then plus 1 because it's from the spell cannon, right?
And then plus 1 because you upcast it as well. So 5d8 total.
Sorry, it is a 2nd level spell, so that's not an upcast.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, then 4d8, yes.
Oh, flush dice. You failed.
Squeaky.
Good.
Oh, great. That's only 10.
Okay.
That doesn't even beat their threshold, is it?
Hang on.
Distance.
It won't meet the threshold for the hole, but the spell thrusters don't have a damage threshold.
Okay.
So because you targeted them specifically.
Yeah, I'm trying to disable their engines so we
Yeah.
can all get away.
That is...
The spell cannon, it kind of senses what I'm going to cast into it, and it kind of shifts and morphs into like a giant megaphone, and I just go, boom.
Boom. Yeah. It's just like this big sonic wave through the air that slams into the back of the ship. Rocks it forward. You can hear some screams as a few crew members are also hit by it because it does increase it to 60-foot area technically as well. Yeah, and that was 10 to...
I should have said pranked.
Pranked.
That is epic. I love it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, you definitely deal some damage to those engines. The hull, again, manages to hold on, so the ship's not going down quite yet or anything. And then we move on to the next.
So it says on the ship's turn, I can take 2 actions from the list below. Oh yeah, I moved and then did the thing. Never mind.
Yeah, you moved and then did the spell cannon from it. Yep. Technically, you'd have extra features if you were also the captain, but we're not doing that because we're not doing a full airship campaign. Lyrian, you're up next.
Saving throw, success, make power drive checks. Okay.
So you're in the little ship on the
Yes.
on the deck.
So I'm going to drive check, move the vehicle pilot to succeed on a DC 18 sleight of hand check. So that's sleight of hand.
You get a bonus for winning.
Yes. So the way that this works is, are you doing the neural link or just the regular?
Yes, the Neuralink. Do I need to roll for that first?
Yes.
Before
So
going?
when you step into the vehicle, you connect to the neural link of the ship. You can roll a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw.
Little tendrils come down and burrow into your ears.
I rolled a
Yep.
19.
Ew.
Stick your hands in the goo.
Yep, you gotta put your hands in the goo.
19 naturally, and
Okay.
It's like slime. Like
you
kids.
feel yourself connect to the ship.
Nice.
You can feel like the obelisk like pushing down at your mind, trying to like
okay.
pry at your memories, but you have greater control. You automatically succeed
Okay.
any drive checks, so you don't have to. You can ignore the sleight of hand that's required there,
Okay.
and now you can basically just move it as if you were controlling it as part of you.
Is 60 feet. So, is the base where it's sitting, or is it where it's hovering
kind
over?
of right here.
10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I get to there. And seeing that they're targeting the engines, I will also attempt to do the same. I will
Okay.
use the spell Eldritch Blast for now. And what I want to do is, my intent is to try and fly
Warlock party.
low here, but when I get up to the side of the ship, I want to get higher. So
Okay.
it's kind of like on
Yeah.
approach.
Is there a specific engine that you're targeting? Because you have
The same
access
one-
to all 5.
The same one that has been hit. If it's still functioning after it's been hit, I
It
wanna hit
is.
again.
Yeah. So it is. That is
Are
the
you doing like smoking or anything?
port upper stern. No, when they get to about half, I think they get damaged.
Okay. So I will do. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Eldritch Blast. This is going to be plus 12 to hit. So does a 29 hit?
29 will hit.
And I am going to add an epic dice to the damage. So that starts off with a 3. 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 damage.
10 damage.
Okay. Another 10 damage to that. Thank you.
Bonus action. I don't think I have any. Action.
Oh, and then need more paper.
Question. So I have the ability to hex with my bonus action.
Mm-hmm.
Is the ship a target of the hex, or would I target someone on the ship for the hex?
At this point, can you hex non creatures? Yeah, you wouldn't be able to hex the ship itself.
Got it. Okay.
So you would have to
But
hex
there's probably
a
someone
creature.
driving it.
Yeah, if you wanted to like.
No, that's
hex...
that's kind of what I was saying. I want to fly up here so I can kind of see up into the control centers. Whoops. At the control centers to see if I can visually identify somebody.
Okay. Really quickly, I am going to write things down on here because this is not going to be enough for all that I need. So.
Yep. Open a notepad. Or a Word doc. Or a Google Doc.
And the +1 that you said that I have from the rule earlier, that's to all checks relating to the ship.
Yeah, basically that's all checks like the memory or the
Got it.
check you did earlier.
Okay.
Let's see here.
And I think that's it, because I've used my movement. I don't have any good bonus actions. That's it.
Okay. Alright. If somebody, if you guys need to take a break or get up and move for a second.
Let's close that one. Open this one. One's being obnoxious. Extras. Manage extras. Let's see if I can put one in there. Choose a category.
Okay. There's that. And then the other ship.
And let's see. Huge land vehicle branch.
The other thing that you have on board, Scott, is a heavy cannon, by the way.
Okay.
Huge vehicle. There's a small vehicle.
So if you want to use that, let me know and I'll tell you what that does.
He's wrong gargantuan. Rowboat. Good.
All right, sorry about that. Here we go with top of round 2. Let's see here. You hear cries of alarm and shouts to deploy countermeasures coming from the Scalding Cairn, and it is going to. It is actually going to move and kind of do an arc around towards your ship now.
This one?
Yes, so
Just
kind
gonna
of give it
turn
like
this
a
way?
little arc. Yeah, so it is moving this way with its movement speed, and then it is actually going to fire the spell cannons on that side at all of you. So that is going to be... we're going to go ahead and do 2 on each of you, and then an additional 1 on the ship as well.
Okay.
So for Fred, we've got a 9 and a... Oh, what's one brain? 24. And this will be targeting Gearhawk, actually.
Yeah, 24 will hit.
24 will hit. Okay. And that is going to be... 53 damage total. As the cannon slams into Gearhawk there.
Now, can I...
That's where it doesn't work.
Hold on.
Preston, while you're looking that up here, Preston,
Yeah.
that is a 22 on the first attack.
A 22, the ace, 22 damage or towards
The AC.
AC is 16.
Okay,
So that's-
so both of these are going to hit.
Damage threshold's 15.
The first one is a 27.
Okay, 27 hits.
27 damage, sorry.
Or, sorry, 27 damages.
And the second one is 37.
And then I believe I make a save for those.
Yes, you will be making a save for those as well. What was your
I'm
question?
just using a psionic energy die as my reaction to use a protective field, and
Okay.
that will reduce the damage by... Oh,
Reduction
can I
to-
use one of my...
Epi die? Sure, I'll let you throw that in there.
Okay.
Mostly because you got too many anyway.
So they'll reduce it by 11.
Okay.
So how many total
So it was
damage?
53 minus 11, 42.
42.
Because I'm
Okay.
Neuralink, does a shield spell, if I was to react with a shield spell, would it protect the ship or no?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and say yes. That sounds cool.
Okay.
So if you want to do it on like the first one, because it was a 22 on the first one, so you would have to have a plus
So it would be 16, and then this gives you an additional
5. So that would be 21. So it wouldn't
Wouldn't do
help in
anything.
this case, but good for future reference.
Yeah, just to know. Yep.
Now, as far as the Neuralink goes,
There is a saving throw, which is
it's basically 10 or half the damage dealt rounded down. So it's a concentration check, basically.
and it's my concentration.
It will be a wisdom saving throw again for each of these.
Okay,
rather
but
than
it's my wisdom.
Yes, it's your wisdom.
All right, so wisdom saving throw. Natty 1 on that one.
Nat 1?
Yep.
What's the total, though? Because you can't
10.
really Nat 1. Okay, 10. And I believe that first damage was 27, so half of that is...
And the second one, I rolled another Nat 1.
Half of that's 13
You're
or
dead
14.
to me.
13.
Digital dice.
Okay.
Oh yeah, don't do digital dice. Yeah.
Sorry, what was your total?
10 and 10.
10 and 10? Okay.
First roll 10, second roll 10.
So you're going to fail both of those. You didn't fail by 10 or more, so that's good in this case. So the first one, you are going to take... 10 psychic damage.
Okay.
And you are going to get memory drained on this one. And same with the other one as well. So let's do the memory drain here first.
And this is 10 damage to the ship, or to
That's
me
10
direct-
damage to you directly,
directly,
yes.
okay.
It's basically like a feedback against you.
But the other damage you had was to the ship specifically.
Yes. So while memory drained, the target must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from its ability checks and attack rolls. So you're basically baned.
Okay.
Each time you become drained beyond the first, the size is increased by 1.
Okay.
So it becomes a d6. If you get drained again, then a d8, then a d12, so on until it becomes a d20. If you get one and you're already at a d20's worth of negative, you become unconscious for 1 hour instead.
Go ahead.
And in addition to that, I need you to roll me a
D10?
Yeah, D10, please. Because it does take a memory from you. 2. This is, do you want to read the memories or do you want me to?
Let's see, so in Lyrian's memories. Open, please. Open, please. Open, please. Thank you. Alright, so this is number 2 in that list?
Yep, number 2 in that list.
Okay, so this is his first memory of discovering hemalurgy. Basically, it was when he found an ancient tome at a local apothecary. It was like stumbling upon a hidden piece of myself. The words practically glowed on the page, whispering promises of power. It felt like the universe had finally handed me a key to my destiny, one where I could puzzle out the glorious purpose I was created for. I don't think about how I acquired it. It's easier to call it fate than theft. Of course, I would have paid for it, but I wanted to remove any chance of someone finding out whose family I was a part of and tracing the book's purchase back to me. I would never hear the end of it from my siblings. What matters is that it marked the beginning of my true journey. And now I don't remember.
Okay. Yeah.
Don't remember what.
Exactly.
Yeah, basically it's just like a fuzzy memory as the Obelix takes that and consumes it.
But the ship becomes more powerful.
Yes. So the second one is also going to memory drain you.
Okay.
So it's going to go up to a d6 now on your checks. So take 8 psychic damage.
Okay.
For that second one. And then please roll me another d10. If you roll the same number, it means you don't get a memory drain. Okay. Or if you roll one that's already used, you don't get
D10,
that memory gone again.
6. This memory is the gift of my first ring. Even my father gave me a ring on my 15th birthday. It was simple but elegant. He said, even those without magic deserve to carry some elegance. I think he meant it kindly, but all I heard was the sting of what I lacked. Still, the ring is mine, and I wear it to this day, even if it does not quite shake the weight of his words. My siblings told me that he gifted me the ring of Featherfall to let me down easy, that I was less than his standards.
Yeah. And again, as you recall this memory for the last time, it kind of just fades away into nothingness.
This is sad.
So you are at a d6. Lyrian is a side character. We can do all sorts of
We
crap.
don't care
to him.
about you, is what.
We do all sorts of horrible things.
I care about you.
The world has been mean to Locke.
The next
so bad.
next to go is the frozen bog's actually going to kind of swing around on the other side. So basically, Lyrian is right in the crossfire here, but they are going to fire
Are they
at.
going past us?
Yeah, they're basically trying to pass you as well. Trying to aid you since you're aiding them. Also, the cutting edge did something, or you haven't seen it yet. We probably should decide what to do there.
No.
At some point.
It's just chilling. It's just hanging back here. Just waiting for something.
Feeling.
Descendants soundtrack.
Throw a wardrobe at it.
Both of those are going to hit. One of them is a crit, actually. So, somebody want to roll me 16d10, please?
I do.
All right, here we go.
I want to roll 16d10.
4, 5, 6. I got 7.
7, I have 2.
There's 2.
So
There's
that was
2 more.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
And there's 2 more.
13, 14.
15, 16.
Holy smokes. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. Whoa! Okay.
Yeah, as basically one of the cannons slams into the hole and carves a chunk, and then the other one basically follows up and rips right through that hole and comes out the other end of the
I
ship.
used that. Sorry, I forgot
worries.
to.
Thank you for being honest.
Don't love that sound.
Crickety click.
Okay. We have got.
Hang on, I'll grab a calculator. You can just read me off the numbers.
She touched the fleshy dice.
Ew. Yeah. So 10,
Okay.
20.
Okay.
I'm just. Oh, sorry. 10,
Oh,
10,
okay.
10.
Uh-huh.
Is that what you want me to do?
Yes.
9,
Okay.
6, 7, 7, 7, 9, 9, 2, 5, 6, 9, 5, 3, 6.
120 damage.
Now,
Dang.
Glad that didn't hit me.
Not 12
that
damage.
monstrosity goes to you. The little babies go to you.
Okay, that one rolled a
As
10,
do these.
so...
And these ones are yours, the bloods. Right?
Yep. And the grips.
Which ones?
I'm just kidding.
The rest are these?
Sorry.
I think...
I get what you're saying now.
I will say that that hit plus your guys' attacks on the engine has basically caused a lot of damage. You can see that there is smoke coming from the inside of the ship now.
Boom! What?
You have definitely hit it and dealt some
That was a
damage.
Maddie reference. My children have been watching a lot.
Fred, it is your turn.
Okay. So, Gearhawk will continue his 10, 20, 30, 40.
Okay. As you get close to the ship, to the top deck there, you see that there are a trio of skiffs that are being basically, they're ready to launch. And it looks like they will be launching this turn, or this round. They do have, it looks like two of them are more like escort attack fighters to kind of fend off air attacks. And then the other one looks to be a boarding party of sorts. So if that changes your plans at all, you now have that information.
Well, if they're somewhat lined up, I would love to do Lightning Blast from Gearhawk. So Gearhawk exhales a blast of lightning in a 30-foot line that is 5 feet wide.
Okay. So because you're approaching it from the side, I will say that you can hit two of them if you want to.
Okay. I can make it all the way up here.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if that changes
basically
things,
what it is like they'd probably be
better.
lined up on the deck vertically. So if you came in from like the front, you could hit them all like that.
Then I would rather come in from
Okay,
the front.
yeah, we'll do that then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
She's doing a flyback.
A nice strafing run.
that is a dexterity saving.
Okay.
Nothing cooler than flying over the top of a ship and just big old beam of lightning.
What is the DC on it?
17 dex save.
The way we're going to do this is we'll do the boarding party as its own thing.
Cory, you never actually rolled your attacks against the ship.
Oh, against the ship?
Yeah.
Thank you for the reminder there, Scott. Please have an epic die for
your honesty.
for being honest.
Didn't want to, but I did anyway.
That's a natural one, and a 10.
Miss.
Yeah, the cannon shots go wide, so
The spell thruster's like, whoosh, and I just like, whoosh.
yeah. John is like, watch this shit.
6d8.
Tokyo drifts it.
Yeah.
Just doing this.
Sorry, what was the DC
Yeah, exactly.
one more time?
17?
17?
Wait, no.
Okay.
15.
15. Okay, so all of the boarding party are going to make their saves, so they're going to take half damage on this, I think is what it is. On a fail, is that right? For Gearhawk?
I believe so.
But the
Half
skiffs...
as much on a... Yeah.
Okay, but the skiffs are going to take the full hit here.
Okay. 6 d8. Let me just make sure I did that right. There's 6.
I like how you told me and then it didn't matter. That's karma, baby.
So that is 22
Well, I got what I wanted out of it.
lightning damage.
22,
For
okay.
11. for those that succeeded on their deck save.
Yeah, basically, Gearhawk goes roaring overhead, lets out a cacophony of cacaws, and a giant blast of lightning
Pelts him with
just
9-volt
sears
batteries.
Yes.
the top deck.
Then I do declare.
I do declare, Mr. Beauregard.
How does Gearhawk stay in contact with his other bird friends?
I don't know how.
Using a cacophony.
A cacophony.
That's a good one. Okay, then I would like to utilize.
Where's the
Oh,
It's in the other. It's in the other
It's
set.
I don't think it's in this set. Yeah. Hang on, maybe. There's such a delay on that. Holy crap!
That's because it's a Generation 2 iPad. I think.
super old. It's an antique at this point. But that's just Gearhawk's turn. What
That's
would
just
Fred like to
Gearhawk's
do?
turn. So Fred would really love to use her fire breath.
Okay.
But
What's the range on that? Because I don't have it.
it's that, isn't it? That little thing. The cone.
Yes.
I mean,
15 feet, I think.
15 feet, and if you're right up to the edge of the ship,
yeah,
we'll say that you can hit everything on that top deck again. That'd be fine.
perfect.
We're playing fast and loose here.
I want to stay on Gearhawk though,
swing
but
underneath.
it is a deck save again.
Yeah, Gearhawk hits it with the lightning and then like flips over, and Fred just belts out flame. So it's the same deck save. What was the what was it, the DC? Was it the same DC or
17?
17? So the boarding crew fails, and then I'm going to assume yes, both of the skiffs fail as well. So roll me that flame damage.
That is 16d6.
16d6.
Hope they didn't keep anything flammable on the top of the ship.
16.
I guess the ship would roll itself as well. because you are
Secondary
attacking it.
explosions.
That.
That is 54 fire damage.
Okay. Yeah, you do light the top deck on fire as well, by the way.
I told you not to use the canola oil to explode the back of the ship.
Okay.
Everybody's fine.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, you definitely like lit all three of those transports on fire now, and they are scrambling to put everything out and get launched still.
And then, if possible,
Feel free to just dive into the river below.
since I don't have any movement left for Gearhawk, well, I have another 10 feet, but I just want to go like right below so that like people on the top of the deck can't really get it. If there's like a safe spot somewhere like down underneath.
Okay. How far, like how much movement do you use to get up there?
All but 10.
All but 10? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say that you basically do this like strafe and then like drop down, and you can get below 10 feet. So yeah, there might be a couple like hookshot cannons that can still target you, but not like the whole top deck or anything.
Okay,
like that.
that'd be awesome.
Perfect. Next up is Bolt and the Wayward Wanderer.
I am going to use the heavy
John
cannon.
goes, ramming speed!
No, let's not
Something
do
the gym! Immediately!
I want to use the heavy cannon on it.
Okay. The heavy cannon that you took from the... I still haven't remembered the name. It'll
From the
flash
one-
on
from the one
screen.
we scuttled.
Yeah.
Scuttle
So,
up.
the heavy cannon is range 800 and then maximum range 3,200 feet.
We're well within range.
Plus 6 to hit.
That's the one that's it's a keel mounted cannon because it's bigger. It's like bigger than the ship would normally have. On it.
And it does 12d10 bludgeoning damage, or in this case, we'll say force damage. Because
Circle of
technically
death.
it is a magical cannon.
And that's cannon.
Yep. That's canon.
Is there an attack roll I have to make with it?
Yes, it's a +6 to the attack roll.
+6.
Yep. And if you're just attacking the ship, obviously.
12d10, you said, right?
12d10, yes.
Dang it. Okay.
What'd you forget?
No, I want to aim.
It's fine. I was gonna
Are any of
do
the
an
engines
action
on
search,
fire?
but it's okay.
Okay.
Did any of the engines look like they're starting to...
Yeah, the one that you've been hitting the most, that has like most of the Eldritch blasts into it, looks the most damaged. It's not quite like it's in need of desperate repair yet, but it is definitely lagging a bit behind the others.
I'll try to hit one of the others right near it.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll the attack.
You killed a what? The poor thing.
That's a 13.
13, that will miss.
Can I use an epic die?
Every
Yeah.
time I'm like, where's my hand?
You always can use an epic die.
14.
14 will still miss.
Bummer.
You have
Try it again.
inspiration?
Nope, I have 2 actions.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
So I'm
can.
trying to try it one more time.
Yeah, sure.
All right, come on. 18.
18 will hit.
All right.
Go ahead and roll damage. Now, it looks like you can hit probably upper port stern or lower port stern. Which one would you like to hit? Upper is the one that's been damaged the most.
To the lower.
Okay.
4, 5, 6. So many dice. 7 dice. There's quite a few tens. Okay. $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70, 81 damage.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, you slam into that one, and it is definitely damaged. So they are going to be taking less, not less. They have a -1 to their AC because that one is damaged itself. So the ship as a whole now has -1.
Cool. That was the 2 actions.
Okay, perfect. And then we have the skiffs launch. They actually managed to launch. One of them, with the transport one, kind of launches and starts heading towards the Wayward Wanderer, which will be represented by the bigger one here. And it will... let's see, how far can it move? It can go...
You came from behind.
65 feet.
So let's see. 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Yeah. Probably
Okay,
get there.
so it's on its way in, and 3 Brotherhood of Neve members will drop down, but all 3 of them are looking extremely burnt and extremely electrified at this point. They're looking pretty worse for wear.
They just hear clomp, 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 and there's these minotaurs just
Yeah, there's
charging
like,
them.
basically one of the Minotaurs grabs all 3 of them in his horns and then flings them off the edge. We'll go ahead and say. The other two.
Does the skiff just kind of... Were they the only ones on? Or was there
there was like a pilot, so
yeah.
he's just basically doing a flyby. So give him a bonus or a action and move him another 65 feet. So both of the other little fighter skiffs are actually going to launch and then immediately like dive down and start racing towards Fred. So they're going to fire a pair of ballistas at Gearhawk here. And we've got one of them is a 25 to hit.
Ouch.
What is Gearhawk's AC?
16.
The other one is a 13, so that will miss. So one of them hits and does 21 piercing damage.
Okay.
You're going to reduce that again?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll expend another nice psionic energy die.
Oh, each of them fires 2 bolts. Okay, sorry.
Well,
The other two are misses. It was a 4 and a 5, so. Go me. Doing good tonight.
So that reduces it by 8.
Okay.
And what was it?
It was 21, so 13.
Okay.
Your hawk is definitely not typically meant for
airship
taking on
combat.
giant cannons at the beginning of a fight.
No.
For sure.
You're doing well, Gearhawk. I'm so proud of you.
Locke, it
Okay.
is your turn.
I will approach. So 10, 20, 30. I'm going to get up to. I'm sorry. I want to get to where. Now, is this one. Where's this one in relation? Is it sitting here?
They're all vaguely
Like right here?
around the area,
Or
yeah.
is it
So
right here?
they're all kind of
It's like
swarming
right-
around the
it'd be
ship.
like right here-ish.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to line up over here and do a 20-foot cone shot. I'm going to do the disabling pulse.
Oh, nice.
20-foot cone. Each creature in the area within the cone must make a DC 16 intelligence saving throw.
Okay. What's affecting the pilots here?
I assume that would
Is
be
that,
the
is
action
that from the
Gearhawk?
ship? From the
from the
ship.
ship.
No, I don't think it'll hit.
No, because he's aiming at all the ships, not Gearhawk.
Both of them fail.
Including the big ship,
Okay, so
by the way.
any who fail
the
the
big
check
ship won't be affected.
cannot take reaction and can only take one action, move, or bonus action until the beginning of the pilot's next turn.
Okay.
And is that action's my action or the ship's action?
That is the ship's action.
Okay. So then I am going to. Can I see physically the one in this ship?
Mm-hmm.
I want to cast Hematurgic Siphon.
Okay.
And so essentially when you probably see this as he flies up next to Gearhawk, as he kind of looks, he kind of clutches the little necklace that he kind of wears around his neck, and he reaches out, and you see it's like what's his name? Total Recall, when he's on Mars' surface and he's like starts to like
yeah.
and blood starts to kind of like leak from his orifices, and I pull it and take some health.
Okay. So what is the mechanical
The
thing?
mechanical thing that happens here is Hematurgic Siphon. It is one action. It is going to be 48 damage. I will sacrifice a creature I can see his health to mend any other creature you can see his wounds on a failed con save. So
Con save.
it's
I was going
gonna
to say, there has to be a save here.
Constitution of 20.
Okay.
And one creature of your choice can see within regains a number of hit points equal to twice the necrotic damage dealt.
Okay. For those of you at home wondering why you haven't heard of this spell before, it's because it's Preston's. This is Preston's homebrew.
Not for this campaign.
Not for,
but
yeah. He's just using it because we like the spell. So he fails, so roll the full damage, please.
Okay. Let's see. This is going to be cast 4d8.
4d8. And then your hawk gets twice that much health. You wouldn't think that a construct could get healed by blood magic, but Lyrian finds a way.
He does.
The blood flows into your hawk and solidifies. And you are reminded just how gorgeous Lyrian is now that he's in mid-combat casting, basically, to heal your companion.
That.
I cannot believe it's not butter.
4, 5, 6, 7,
Blunder.
8, 9.
Blunder.
Damn it.
So that's 9 damage from the person. They take 9 damage, and it's twice that, so it's going to be 18 damage to Gearhawk. Sorry,
Healing.
18 health.
Yes.
Health.
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 Old health.
We love the health.
So, yes.
Thank you.
He's very healthy.
And that's his movement. That's speed. Bonus action. I should have hexed him. That's okay. I will, because there's a lot of concentration. You said that using the ship is not concentration. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Then I will use my bonus action to hex the target that I hit initially.
Okay. Would you like to have hexed beforehand? This is a new
No,
character.
I won't retcon it. It was afterthought. He's not
This-
very well versed in battle yet.
Okay.
He's
Alrighty.
really good at like
Somehow he got to
machinations.
level 16 without being well
on
versed
good
in
looks alone.
combat.
Yeah,
Okay. Back up to the
The
top
Baba
of the
Yaga
round
just
here.
granted it to
but
him.
I mean that's the perk of having a patron. Jump to the top of the leaderboards.
The Scalding Karn actually breaks away and is going to go full double move flee as its 2 fighters continue to like pepper. So it is going to break away and leave the battle. The enemy ship.
I don't know. How far can it move in one round?
With a half broken engine, it can move.
Because my cannon can go 800 feet.
That's true.
I would like to use my bonus action to hide from this.
100 feet.
Explosions.
Let's see here. 100 feet with 2 actions, so 200 feet, yeah. It can move 200 feet.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd like to continue to pursue it, you could.
I want to get one last shot off. To
Okay.
Try to do it enough damage that maybe they can't continue or they have to take some time to try to repair.
Okay. I will say, without even rolling an insight check, that's already the case.
Oh,
here.
okay.
Yes. They have a giant hole in their ship. Their entire top deck is on fire.
2 of the engines are smoking.
2 of the engines is smoking. One of them looks about ready to fall off.
Okay.
So if you want to continue, if you want to take the shot, that's up to you.
I don't think Bolt would.
Okay.
I don't think I would take the kill shot. Or
John
anything.
Broomsman would, though.
Yeah.
Well, he's just
Ramming speed. That's the only thing he knows.
Level up!
So as the ship kind of fades away, the other 2 like fighters take like pot shots at you, but they'll also swiftly leave. If you guys want to, you can pursue them, or you can just leave them to their to hobble back to their ship.
I'd probably pursue the 2.
I'm not even going to make you roll for it. Gearhawk swoops down and manages to basically scour the top deck of these 2 skiffs, taking out the pilots and sending them into the drink.
He's a metal bird, like claws and start.
Yeah.
To make it easy, one of them will
Blade
dominate
wing.
Monster on one of the pilots and have them basically turn the ship off. So it's.
I mean, you don't even have to spend the spell slot, but yeah,
I get bonus action.
yeah.
Whatever, short rest. So.
Yep.
Just
That's right. I forgot you're a warlock. Yeah.
Warlock.
Yeah, you probably have like Gearhawk flying straight at, and at the last second you jump as he like crashes through the skiff itself and comes back out the other side and land back down.
So cool, like
Yes.
slow turn.
All,
in the air,
all of your eye stalks
and
are
you're just
shooting
like-
laser light shows.
If you had a cell phone, you take a selfie.
Yeah.
You know?
Darude Sandstorm starts playing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then as like the battle kind of settles down, from the clouds up above, the cutting edge comes like sliding in, and Prevost goes, "I was just about to make my move," and as he like passes on by.
A little late there.
You're too quick with your attacks.
You can take chase.
I think I'd rather chase the prize, thank you. See you later. And he's going to zip off. The frozen bog, on the meanwhile, actually pulls up next to you, and Marana gives you a wave, and she says, "Thank you for the assist."
I hope this means you won't attack us.
Oh no, we're in no position for that. We're going to have to take a couple hours for repairs ourselves at this point.
Well, hide yourself and
Hide your
good
wife.
luck.
You as well,
What's her sister's name?
Lucia.
Tell Lucia hello from the Wayward Watch.
Hello, she says from the crow's nest.
Yes.
Will do, though. And if you need anything, we'll try and help where we can.
Appreciate that. Well, we're going to go to the prize as well.
Good luck.
And I want to try to catch Vonderhill.
Okay.
And I think it's time to do...
You're going to
hook up the other battery, basically.
Okay.
The other engine...
give me an
source.
Arcana check. We'll get another round of Intimidate/Persuasion.
I do call everyone in.
from you
like,
two for
come on in,
morale.
you know.
Unless you'd like to scout instead.
I think.
You feel the
I'm going
need for
to
speed?
Use my inspiration to re-roll that, and it was worse.
It's only a 14. It's not great.
But
Did you have inspiration?
I do have
only
inspiration.
got 13.
13.
Try it again.
23.
23. Lyrian's success this time. Fred is not. Which did you roll, by the way? Were you doing intimidation
I did
or
persuasion.
I did
Okay.
intimidation.
So bad cop wins instead of good cop this time.
That's good.
27.
27.
What I did to the man out there. If you don't get to it, I'm gonna boil your blood as well.
I'm trying to hook it up, and I'm like, what the? And then I use inspiration. Oh yeah,
Flip it over.
over.
It's
Which causes the
multidimensional.
sands of time to start flowing the other way.
if it was a sand timer, they'd start flowing.
It's like a USB port. You plug it in one way, turn it over, plug it in.
You got to turn it
Then turn it
again.
again, and then plug it in. It finally works.
Okay.
fourth
So
dimensional object.
you connect that second engine, and as soon as it clicks into place and the engine spins up, everybody just kind of lurches backward as you guys go
That's
rocking
awesome.
John
forward.
Burnman.
Yep.
His Street Fighter Guile hair is.
Yeah.
Went straight to critical blast.
You do notice as the engine starts spinning up again, it starts pushing the infection quicker through that engine. So you need to keep an eye on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to gauge if we can maybe pass Fonder Hill and go as far as I possibly dare before disconnecting it again.
Okay. You do manage to catch up to Fonda Hill, and he looks over. He does the Luigi death stare from Mario Kart. No, he looks over in surprise as you go racing past. You maneuver your way through the debris
Just give him a
field,
wave.
and he just kind of gives you a wave back. You maneuver your way through the debris field.
I'm gonna cast
And-
slow on him.
You finally see your target up ahead. There are a couple other
I'll have
ships.
Hafus disconnect
Yeah.
things.
Mhm, as soon as you start getting
As soon
close,
as I get
yeah.
close,
So you start coming up onto the top deck as you guys are approaching. You do see that there is one other ship that is here already. The Merchant's Guild ship, with the gear guard. However, it is like you just did. It is tilted. It is listless. It looks like it's been kind of hit with something very hard. And as you get closer, the first thing that you recognize, Bolt, is the ship itself.
Oh.
You know this ship. I don't know if you have a description of this ship in mind, but it is a very... It's not a very, overly large ship. It is very much a battle cruiser, just like the one you just fought, a battleship or a cruiser of some kind. But it is kind of designed in a way to make it sleek, and very much an influence of the arcane is here. And you know for a fact that this ship is far bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, because you've been aboard this ship for most of your life before you lost your memories.
So this is the Queen's Gambit.
This is the Quinn's Gambit. This is your creator's ship that is floating derelict in space. Not only is it floating derelict, but you also recognize, and Fred, you actually recognize the what is kind of occurring here as well, as these shards of, or these kind of lines of black metal with blue energy crackling through them have encompassed a good chunk of this ship, and have also spiked out and slammed into the transport barge from the merchant ship, and basically started infecting it as well.
Are they traveling along rope or something that's been attached?
No, it is full on, the metal itself has twisted and spun into this other ship and slammed into it. This is Archphage.
Yeah.
This is what infected Bolt's original body, and what is infecting the second engine of your ship currently.
Okay. I think at this
So what does Bolt say? I mean, I need to know what's Bolt's reaction here.
So yeah, as we get closer, that's the Queen's Gambit. That's the ship that I spent most of my life on. What is it? Why is it here? And Quinn. I need to see if Quinn's okay, and I will kind of roughly push John out of the way and take control of the ship, and basically I've got a one-track mind now.
Okay.
Get to the ship, get on it, try to figure out what's going on.
Okay. So your ship gets about to the same place as the merchant ship does, and the metal suddenly reacts and slams 3 or 4 different shards of metal, these tendrils of metal into it, and your ship just dies. All the engines stall.
How far away are we from it?
I would say you're probably about 80 feet to 100 feet from the ship at this point. And as you are basically like, you kind of like take your hands off of the wheel because you realize that you literally just walked into the same trap that the other ship did.
I was hoping the arcphage already on the engine would give us a little bit of a pass, at least for a little bit.
Yeah, but it's not on the engine that's currently active.
It's
so.
an older code, but it checks out.
But as your ship basically gets captured in this nefarious trap too, I think that's where we're going to end it this evening. Thank you everybody for joining us, and thank you for sitting through an airship combat. I know it's a lot different. I know it was kind of a lot of paperwork on the back end, so I appreciate your guys' patience as players. Everybody can take inspiration. I'm good with that. Get your inspiration back there. And thank you everybody at home. I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode, and I hope you enjoy what we've got coming for you, because it's going to be good. We're getting into some good stuff. And if you want to support us, you can go to Patreon and see these episodes a couple of days early. We also post
ad-free. You have access to private Discord. Talk to us.
And we also post short stories there, some that may become more relevant in the next couple episodes, perhaps. Who knows? So make sure you check those out if you want to, or you can check out our Discord. We do have post the short stories up on there as well on basically a week later delay. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you guys.